Now the meeting is being recorded, so make sure that you click continue. So what Sila's kind of asked me to do at the beginning is to get you guys warmed up like I get my normal classes warmed up with a little bit of calisthenics. You'll be watching Jeremiah and Lonky doing a little bit of that stuff. And then after we, do a little calisthenics just to warm up the body, we'll do some stretching. And then we're going to go ahead and jump into some, we're just going to jump into it. We're going to do some hand strikes. We got about 4 hand strikes we're going to do, as well as 4 kicks. And then we'll have about 4 like techniques that we're going to do together. And then after we do those techniques, if you guys will open the floor for any questions that you may or may not have, emphasis on the may, not the may not. And we'll go on from there. Does that sound like a plan to everybody? Yes, I see some thumbs up from people. I see thumbs up. I saw some thumbs up emojis over there. You guys can use the, my favorite is like that little party reaction thing, the little hat. So you can always do that one. whatever you want to use, okay? Oh, and then by the way, just so you guys aren't going crazy and like, what happened? Oh, look, I don't know how to pronounce your name, but she used my favorite one. Yay! Is it Kaylani? I hope so. Yeah. Awesome, good. I pronounced your name correctly. So that's one of my favorite ones that I like to use. But when we get to the techniques, what I'm going to do is is that when the recording will be not so much. Okay, so when we're not recording anymore, then what we'll do is I'm going to kind of like look over here, and I'll have Evan, Lonky, and Jeremiah looking too, and we'll see who looks like they've got the technique, and we may spotlight you, or we may not. It all depends. Sound like a plan? All right, cool. So for right now, I'm gonna put the camera on these guys as they're headless now. Look at that. Let's make them not headless. Sound good? All right. So let's go ahead and get you guys started. Let's have you guys run in place. Let's get you warmed up a little bit. See, aren't you glad you didn't eat that pho now? Otherwise, I'd have pho all over my floor, and I'd be not so happy. So just kind of watch them, see what they're doing. If you have questions, just kind of look over here. That's why we have people on camera. All right, sounds good. Let's do some jumping jacks. Go for it. Let's get that blood pumping a little bit, because I haven't even had any pre-workout today, and this is my level right now. So I gotta get y'all with me. Nice work. I like it. I'm liking what I'm seeing. All right, let's do some outside balance. So what that is, you're going to take a step from one side to the other, kind of like you're running bow-legged a little bit, There you go. And you're taking your balance from one outside to the other outside. Look at that. That's why it's called outside balance. We're keeping it on the outside. Now, as we're going, our next one is going to be called inside balance, and that's your balance on the inside. So one foot kicks up the other from side to side, so you kind of look like you're a pendulum. And if you don't know what a pendulum is, think of like the Newton's cradle. If you don't know what that is, look it up later. Nice work. I can see some of you on the camera. I'm digging it. And now let's do some double hopping. So you're going to jump from side to side with both feet. So these 3 exercises, what they do is they help us with agility. So in the event that you decide to study martial arts later on, your feet are a lot more agile. You could be a little bit more springy when you're sparring or doing techniques in general. That's why we use them to warm up. Nice. I like it. And let's go down for some mountain climbers. So you're just going to go down like these guys. And one leg comes in, the other one goes down. There we go. And so we won't go super crazy, just a little crazy. We won't do the strength building that we normally do in our workouts, but at least we're getting the blood pumping. So that way when we go to stretch, we don't end up, injuring ourselves stretching, because that can happen. as yoga has proven to me. And have a seat. Let's do some butterfly stretching. So you're going to just go ahead, and if you can see, you probably can't see them now. So just kind of like that. Not super crazy. Good. Just kind of let the heart calm down a little bit, but now the body is warmed up. So now let's keep one foot in and put the other one out in front and do your best to grab your toes. If you can't grab your toes, that's okay. Grab your ankle. If you can't grab your ankle, grab your shin. And if you can't grab your shin, grab your knee. And if you can't grab that, we got to work on your stretching a little bit. And switch your legs to the other side. So we're kind of doing an abridged version of what we would normally do for our warm-ups. Normally, I have you guys hold the stretches a little bit longer, but since we only have a specific amount of time, I don't want to, go super crazy. And then normally what we do in after classes, after we go through all of our stretches, then we do strength building through various different ways. That can either be something that we call countdowns. They could be exercise corners. It can be using the exercise dice. I have a thing where I call it the magical number. So many different things. And now switch again and step with the leg behind you. If your foot can't go all the way behind you, that's okay. You just kind of want to have it so that way your leg is stretching a little bit to the side like that. So for those of us that are not super flexible, don't worry. It's all good in the hood. And switch your legs. So one of the things to remember as when we start going through your hand strikes is I'm going to have Lonky and Jeremiah doing the demonstrations of the hand strikes because, one, I can, but two, it'll be a lot easier since I injured myself a couple months ago doing yoga and I still have not completely recovered from having broken ribs from yoga. Don't ask me how. I'll explain later if you want to know. And both feet out in front and grab your toes. And once again, if you can't grab your toes, that's okay. Grab your ankles. And if you can't grab your ankles, grab your shins or your knees. All right, very nice. Now let's go ahead and stand up. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you guys, now they're super headless. I'm going to have you guys go ahead and spread your legs out and just gently lean towards one side. What side? Any side. Yeah, it would help if we're kind of facing the same direction. Boys don't know what to do with them. And switch to the other side. You have to cut out some of the stuff. Good. Now let's have one foot forward and put the other one behind. So you're stretching towards that front. You're kind of in a lunge. So the heel is going to be off the ground. But you don't want it so you're on the same line because otherwise you're going to fall over. So you have to make sure that there's a little bit of, there's a little bit of an angle. If you actually look at Lonky over here, he's got a pretty good angle going on right now and he's not falling over. So try not to have your feet in line with each other. And now let's switch it and go to the other side. It also makes it very easy if you decide to jump and switch, because then you just jump. Just like Lisa over there just did. I saw you, Lisa.
Oh, Lisa?
Yeah, Lisa's in there too. It's like, hi. All right, that's great. Now let's bring both of our feet to the middle, put our hands up to the side. We're going to do some little circles going forward, because it's important to not only stretch out your legs, it's also important to stretch out your shoulders and your upper body. So we can't just be like, wait, I just want to kick somebody. Don't do that. Punch them too. And backwards, although we're not going to learn any punches today. We're going to learn something with a fist, but not exactly a front punch. Because one of the biggest things that we notice with any type of actual punch is that you need to have a little bit of guidance, and have an instructor adjust you, just to make sure that you're not going to hurt your own wrist or anything like that. So we tend to, in any self-defense class, we tend to skip doing like front punches, back punches, thrust punches, those types of things. Now let's do some large circles forward. But we are going to do something with a fist. You're just not going to punch them. And backwards. And then let's twist a little bit. Got to make sure we stretch out the spine. Avoid any injuries, because they take forever to heal from. And let's spread our legs out. We're going to fold our arms, and we're just going to gently hang there. And now slowly come up. All right, are we feeling a little bit warmed up? You guys feel warmed up, stretched out, ready to rock? All right, I see some thumbs up, some real life thumbs up, some emoji thumbs up. We're good to rock and roll. Okay, so before we go into any of the hand shakes or anything like that, I just want to I'm going to sit down here for just a moment, and I just want to give you guys a couple of disclaimers. First one is, when we go to make our fists, we have to make sure that the thumb is on the outside, not on the inside. Because if our thumb is on the inside, we risk breaking our little thumb joint, and that really hurts when we break a bone. Have any of you actually broken a bone? Yeah, no, maybe. I've broken 4. And ironically, none of them were from martial arts. No, wait, I can change that now. I've broken 5 bones. And none of them were from martial arts. One of them was from babysitting. But it's and one of them is from yoga. Oh, what 5 bones? So I've broken my left middle finger. See, it kind of curves and goes the wrong way. I've broken my left pinky. It no longer straightens. I've broken my left ankle. There's something wrong with my left side now that I think about it. I've broken my ribs on my left doing yoga. And then I've actually broken my tailbone. So, and none of it was from martial arts. So there you go. Life can be dangerous, so just be careful. So you just have to make sure that when we make our fists, that your thumb is on the outside. A good way to do it is to take your hand like this. We're going to curl it in. So that way your hand looks like this, and we curl just a little bit further. Then see how it, not the left side of the tailbone, just the whole tailbone in general. Thanks for asking that, Tristan. It was the whole tailbone, just poof right off. And then we bring the thumb over there. So that's how we do our fist. And then the second thing that I want to make sure that you guys know is, when we go to do our techniques, that you are not, I repeat, do not go and just randomly do these on people. Don't just go randomly start punching people or hitting them or just be like, yo, grab my hair so that way I can beat you up. Okay. So don't do that. Don't do any of those things, because our first line of defense whenever we're doing self-defense is always our words. I mean, and you can use your cat too over there. I see those kitties. They're very good lines of self-defense. So, you know, I have 2 of them and they're kind of crazy, so that works. But you know, our first line of self-defense should always be your words. Try to talk to the person and things like that. Don't automatically assume you're going to have to kick somebody in the crotch or their shins or somewhere. So don't assume that part. And then second, don't go looking for trouble. You know, you have to make sure that you're not out there looking to start something. So use your words. Then your next line of defense is going to be to give them within reason what they want. Like if they want your wallet, good. Throw your wallet. Don't actually hand it to them. Throw it on the floor so that way it gets them to look down and then you can possibly run away. So there is that. And then if none of those are working, then we go to our third line, which is actual offense, which is going to be some of the stuff that we learned today. Sound good? Yeah, maybe? Okay, cool. So here is what I'm going to do is I'm going to let these guys, they're going to get a punching target. Have you guys ever seen punching targets? They're kind of fun. We have a bunch in here. Our punching target today is the newest one, which is a blue square, and it's kind of squishy. So you always punch your brother? I mean, that's pretty awesome. Okay, Alexandra, I will explain later how I broke a bone babysitting and doing yoga. I promise you can ask me that question later. Sound good? All right, cool. So, punching your brother may not be a good thing to do right now, just so you know, but punching targets are awesome. So those are great things. Our first strike that we're going to do, and let's see, can I? Oh, that's right. I'm not the host, so I can't do any of this stuff. I was like, can you maybe pin us or highlight or spotlight us? So that way.
I don't know if you can see it. You're pinned on my computer though.
I see nothing. Okay, so but maybe a spotlight. So we make. Are we pinned for everybody or just on Sela? Are we primary for the rest of you guys?
If not, y'all can pin their video so you can see them better and so you can see what's going on, or just hit speaker view once I'm done talking. So that's an idea, because I don't know if I have the capabilities to do that right now. But
okay. Speaker view. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Tristan, for letting us know. So I just want to make sure you guys can see what we're doing. Our first hand strike that we're going to do is called it's a hammer. So this is where we're actually going to be making a fist. It's going to come up like you're going to, you know, like here and then down. We generally do this to like the bridge of the nose because I don't know if you've ever been hit in the nose before, but you cry a lot. Or at least you water your eyes. So I'm going to have these guys come a little bit closer to the screen. Maybe perfect. All right. So Lonky's going to demonstrate what we're going to do. It's going to come up and down like that. So here's what I would like for you guys to do. Let me see, guys. Some of you that I can see your cameras. Yeah, you can beat up pillows. Beat them up, man. They're evil. Beat up the pillows. So let's see. Let me just see you guys try a couple of them, and then yeah, nice. Now, is that Eliana or Sarah that's beating up the pillow? All right. So I see some of you. I see Lisa going. So here's what I'm going to have you guys do is we're going to have you do 10 on one arm. Then you're going to switch to 10 on the other. And then you're going to do 10 where you alternate. So yeah, so kind of, you know, Lisa is doing it. Sela also knows what she's doing. Yeah, I see you guys. All right, so go for it. Do 10 on one arm, 10 on the other, then 10 where you alternate. Go for it. There we go. So how did I see you beating up that pillow over there, Kaylani? I love it. So how did that feel to you guys? Did that feel pretty good? We're gonna do some super easy strikes that you guys are going to be able to actually utilize. And you're probably gonna see some of them in your techniques that we're gonna learn in a little bit. Sound good? All right. So we have our hammer, and there's a lot of variations of hammers. A lot of times we do it to the bridge of the nose. We can also do it though to the ribs. And I can tell you, when you break your rib, it hurts. So just here, and it kind of goes circular that way. Yeah, look, Lisa's got it. So it's up and down. So there we go, just like that. So we're gonna do kind of the same thing where you're doing 10 on one arm, 10 on the other, then 10 where you alternate. Go for it. But don't actually hit each other if you're practicing on people. All right. Very nice. So you can get a lot of power from these ones, especially because let's say he's grabbing me, right? He's grabbing here, bam. I can use both of them at the same time just to hit in the ribs, and it hurts. So just remember that. You want to do things. It's not like he was trying to give me a hug or something. He's like trying to grab my shoulders to make me do whatever. So you have to remember it's self-defense situation. You got to do what you got to do, okay? So we have our hammers. Now we're going to switch gears and use a palm strike. Now, I will tell you, a lot of instructors tell you to like do this with your palm and put your thumb to the side. I'm not going to remember that in a self-defense situation, are you? Your hand is more than likely just going to go this way. So we just want to have our hands as natural as possible, and you want to focus on the heel of the palm. That's why the full name of the strike is called a palm heel strike. You can hit somebody in the jaw going up. You can smash the nose again. You can slap somebody with it with the palm and it hurts still. You know, you could circle it that way and be like, bam. And it's something. So let's go with some palm strikes. And we're going to do the same general thing. 10 on one arm, 10 on the other, then 10 where we alternate. Go for it. See that nice sound it makes? Good. I see you guys, or you gals. I must use better gender inclusive language. All right. So, do we have any questions on a palm strike? No? Nothing yet? Looks like we might have one. You can either type a question or you can unmute yourself and just kind of be like, yo, I need something. I have questions. And I'll stop, don't worry. Because we are going to use the techniques with palm strikes in a little bit. So just remember that. You'll get to see me use my beat up dolls. So what if you palm heel their nose? If you palm heel their nose like right here, you're probably going to break the nose. It's a lot harder. I know people are like, oh, just hit the palm up and it'll break and go into the brain and you can kill them. It's a lot harder than you think to do that. So palm strike to the nose. Generally, you're going to break the bridge of the nose. If you don't break the bridge of the nose, which is fine, because you're going to cause them to cry. So, and like I said, I know a lot of people say to do the palm up going into the nose. You're going to break the bridge. That's pretty much how it's going to really, like, realistically, like, I mean, I'm pretty strong. I can deadlift about 285 pounds, and I don't expect me to be able to, you know, actually do something that's going to severely injure somebody that way. But we want to hit them on the nose, either on the nose, underneath the nose, because we want them to cry so we can get out. So it doesn't matter which way you hit them. You just want to get away. Then hitting this on the side Back of the head, too dangerous or less effective? No, actually hitting on the side of the head is actually pretty good, especially if you hit like to the temple or the jaw. The jaw, you could actually cause, you could KO them. So you get a knockout. The side of the head, if you hit them in the temple, you're definitely going to daze and confuse them a little bit. So it's not that it's too dangerous or that it's less effective. It's just different ways of hitting. But it's good to know how to do those hits. So if we want to hit somebody, let me raise this up a little bit so that way you're not looking way down. So if you want to hit somebody on the side of their head, instead of doing it this way, I have to turn. So see what I did is I'm turning the body. So I'm going here. And it's not like I'm trying to hit in the ears. I want to hit the side of the jaw. So like right over here, because this whole line right here, if you ever seen boxers get hook punched and they get hook punched here and then bam, they're down, same difference. You're doing a knockout. That's what ends up happening. So hopefully that answers your question about that. We're going to move on to the next hand strike though, before we go and get, I call the paddles Gumby. So we're going to use that for one of the hand strikes, but we're going to do one more, which is an elbow. I love elbows because you know why? We're females and we're going to be close, right? We're going to be in close to them. So it's good to be able to throw a quick elbow if you need to. One of the things that we do when we elbow is we don't stop it here. We bring the hand all the way to the other side, like you want to punch yourself in the other arm. So we bring it here, boom. And we want to smack them. So let's do the same thing with these elbows. We're going to do the same thing that we did with the other things, 10, 10, and then 10 alternating. Go for it. Somebody unmute themselves and have a question? No?
No, sorry. It just kicked me out.
Oh, well, that's not fun. Beat up Zoom. We're going to use our tiger claws and beat it up because that's the next hand trick that we're going to do. That's why I went and got Gumby over here. Gumby's on me. So tiger claws, one of the things that we have to remember is we use these, you see people like they're doing hand strikes like that, but what it is it's a palm and then we grab. So it's either, it goes like the face. This answers, what was it, Sarah? Were you asking about going upward? This is how we go upward, is we go here and then clamp down and like we go up and then bam, grab their face. This also works so for the groin. We go here, you're not grabbing the crotch, you're actually grabbing underneath. You're grabbing. You're not gonna pull it out, but you just wanna cause some pain right there. So here, then you just grab it. There's a technique, I don't teach it very often. I'm not gonna teach it today, probably maybe next week. It's called squeezing the peach. So we're not gonna squeeze any peaches this week though. So don't worry, but it's here and then we grab and have fun. But right now we're just gonna go here, just to the face, just to get used to that movement. So if you see over here with this guy, right? I don't want to just be here. I want to go in. I want to make sure that I'm grabbing, and then whatever I need to do after that. But so let's do some tiger claws now. We like claws because girls, we have nails and they work. Ready? Go for it. See, if you have a paddle out there, you can smack your opponent with it just like Lonky's doing to Jeremiah. It's more fun. All right. So you can go ahead and give me that thing, and then I'll have you demonstrate the kick. Sound good?
Got it.
Okay.
Are we doing kicks next?
Yes. So any questions on the hand strikes that we just did? No? They're pretty straightforward, right? Yeah, all right. Shake out your hands a little bit because now we're going to move on to some kicks. So really quickly, some of the mechanics of the kick is a lot of the things that you're going to do is you're going to bring your knee up. That's what we call a chamber, okay? You have to make sure you bring your knee up. Otherwise, you're going to end up hyperextending your leg, or you're going to end up doing front raises and looking like a nutcracker, you know, from with those toys, the toy soldiers that are like this, and they just raise their legs up. We don't want to be in the nutcracker. We want to kick people. So the first kick that we're going to do is called a front ball kick. That doesn't mean you're kicking the guy in the balls. That's our next kick. Front ball kick, you're using the ball of your foot to kick. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to pretend this is my foot for a second. Is we're going to pretend, yeah, that's my heel. This is my toesies. And here's the ball of my foot. So I have to take my fingers or my toes and bring them back. So that way I'm hitting with the ball of the foot. There you go, just like that. I saw that. That was beautiful. So yeah, hitting with the ball of the foot. So what we're going to do is some front ball kicks. So if you watch Jeremiah super quick, I'm going to lower the screen a little bit. So watch. The first thing he does is he brings his knee up, then he kicks, and then he brings it back to his knee. And that's what we call a recoil. So you make sure you bring it back. Okay? So I'm going to have you guys do 5 on one leg and then 5 on the other. There we go. We're using Jeremiah because he has nice long legs. So, oh, and then this one you don't have to alternate if you don't want to. It's totally fine by me because we might be here till midnight if we do all the alternating all the time. So front ball kicks they're awesome. Oh, we have a question. So we hit them with the ball of the foot. Yes, you're going to hit them with the ball of the foot. And generally with this kick, you're aiming for like the front of the kneecap. You're trying to go to the solar plexus. You know, it doesn't take that much to dislocate a knee. So think of that when you're kicking somebody. It doesn't take that much. And if they can't run, they can't come after you. So always remember that. So that's our first kick. Our second one is a front instep kick. Now we're going to kick the guy in the crotch, okay? So for this one, you're going to point your toes down and kick up. Now, there's 2 different ways to do this kick. There's a nice one where you hit them with your foot. Then there's the mean way where you hit them with your shin. So see that? Hear the difference? Yeah, a little bit. So it's the same structure as the other kick, but just point your toes down. And this goes in between the legs or the chin. So go for it. 5 and 5. This happens to be Jeremiah's favorite kick. You can tell by the sound. He likes that kick. So we have a front ball kick. We have a front instep kick. And then we have a back kick. We don't have any other kicks for today, right, Sela? Those are only 3 kicks?
Yeah, and then the stomp, which isn't a kick.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So we can't forget our stomp. But I just want to make sure at least kick-wise, we're good. So we have one more kick that we're going to do, which is a back kick. And just so you guys know, we're going to be using all 3 of these kicks in our techniques today. Actually, all 4, because when we get to the stomp, you'll see. Ready? So our back kick is pretty much the same thing as a front kick, except you're going to be emphasizing the heel of the foot. That way you make sure you hit with the whole foot. There you go. I saw you. That was good, Tiffany. I liked it. So 5 and 5. More. Very nice. Very nicely done. So our last kick that we're doing, and it's technically not a kick, it's a stomp. So before we do any stomps, I'm gonna bring this up so you can see me and you're not staring at my hands or something. You have a question, Kiara, okay? What kick? We're gonna do a technique where somebody comes from behind us. So chillax, girl. All right. So don't worry. We're gonna do a technique for that today. So no worries. So our next thing that we're gonna do is a stomp. Now the cool thing about stomping is how many of you girls actually wear heels or anything like clogs, things like that? Well, you might not know what a clog is. But, you know, things like that, I mean, because I'm old. Occasionally, yeah. So we do those things occasionally. How many of you guys wear Doc Martens? Like those types of shoes? I'll be honest, Doc Martens are totally my fancy shoes. It's because they have the Mary Jane ones that have the, you know, the T-straps. So those are my fancy shoes. I try my best. See, I got some of you in the chat that are saying me. That's going to hurt when you stomp on somebody. It really is. It's going to hurt so bad. And it's really going to hurt when you kick them in the shin with it. So we're going to do our stomp based off of our front ball kick. So I'm going to bring it down here so you can see it. I'm not going to stomp on Jeremiah's feet, but yeah, I kind of am. I'm not going to actually hit his feet. So what I'm doing is I'm doing this front kick, and then I bring the foot down and I stomp. Super easy. So here, bam. That's what I want to do. So let's just try stomping, because stomping is, you know, it's a skill. Believe it or not, it's totally a skill. So let's just do 5 stomps on one leg and then 5 stomps on the other. And then I'll let you guys, if you need to grab some water, grab water super quick, and then come on back and we'll do some techniques. Yeah, see, I got Lisa over there. She's like, wow. She's thinking of her brother that never wants to leave the Zoom feed after kids class. There, oh, she broke him. Bye, Tony. All right, so after you do your stops, if you need to grab some water, go ahead and grab some water super quickly, because I know doing martial arts and self-defense can totally wind you. So do that, come on back, and then we'll go with some techniques. Jeremiah's gonna get water. See? How are we doing, Lonky?
Good.
Awesome. Water. I think you would have got air. All right. So before we do any of the techniques, Sela and I have thought through this list. So there's going to be 4 techniques that we're going to do today, and then probably a few more that we'll do next week. So we're going to start out, though, with a hair grab. Wait, was it the hair grab or the wrist grab? I think it was the wrist grab first, huh?
Yeah, wrist grab.
Okay, so we're going to start out with a wrist grab. And now this is the fun part for me, because I get to play with my beat-up dolls. Or they're also known as volunteers. So I'm gonna also take my watch off, because whenever I do techniques, my watch always hits somebody and it hurts. So who's doing the wrist grab? I don't remember. Okay, Lonky was. So was it Lonky or Jeremiah? I don't remember. So they're grabbing my wrist, and it's not because he wants, you know, to hold hands with me. It's because of whatever reason. So the first thing I'm gonna do, remember I said about that front kick? We're going to do a front kick to the shin. Boom. Then stomp their foot. Get her hand away. And then palm strike them in their face. I'm only using one side of my body, not because, you know, my left side is trash, but because that's what's close enough to them. If I'm here, right, and now it's like, oh, you know, that works so much better if it's a cross grab. But if it's the same side, you know, it'd be really awkward for me to be like, wait, let me use my left leg. And it's when they're grabbing my right hand. So go ahead, if you have a partner, use your partner, kick, stomp, and then palm strike away. You can even do this with both hands. Like if you grab both, bam, stomp. And then we turn it into a double palm. So it works both ways. So go ahead and try it a few times. And then apparently